Lenagh, age 89. She passed away peacefully on May the 7th, 2023. Bertha was the widow of Francis Lenagh and the dearest daughter of late Nina Marie Smith and the late Michael Nichols. Bertha was a loving mother of Ron, Kathy, and Dwayne Lenagh, and their spouses, Dana, Pete, and Michelle. She was a cherished grandmother of Seth, Jacob Lenagh, Amber Sant, great-grandmother to Seth Jr. and Rebecca. Bertha was preceded in death by her beloved grandson Anthony Thoreau and also her 9 siblings. She was a fond aunt of many nieces and nephews. Bertha was a member of the Rosemont Senior Club. I've known Bertha for 42 years. Probably the sweetest woman I ever met. I met her when me and Stacy met.
Try to scream a little bit.
I don't know how to get any louder.
I know.
Shut the music off.
They're shutting the music off.
Sorry.
I just want to say, when you see somebody's life pass so fast, she lived to be 89. It goes so fast. This life is just a little shadow of eternity. And everything good you see is like a picture of the new earth and heaven and what it's going to be like. It's why when you see somebody like Bertha, she stamps her likeness on her children and her grandchildren, and it's like we're made in the image of God, and we're made for relationship. It's amazing to me all the good that God puts in our life. When I was young, I didn't even see that it was a gift, but it's just a little short trip that we have on this earth. Basically, it's just a chance to decide where we're going to spend eternity. You see God everywhere. You get up in the morning, you see the sunrises, you see the little flowers along the way, and mainly with the people. All the people in our life is basically, you see a woman like Bertha, it's like a picture of God's love and provision that He has for us. The love He puts in a mama and a grandmother for their kids. It's just a great glimpse of what God is really like. What I see mainly in this country is we kind of left the Bible to side, except for times like these. But I just want to encourage y'all to get it out. God is reaching out every day. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven, He said getting saved was it's like a marriage feast that a certain king made for his son. He said, everybody's invited. He said we're just little messengers sent out to tell people, come to me. Whenever you got problems, come to me. Whenever you need help, come to me. He's there for us. He listens to every single word we say in our lives. He writes them down. And He wants us to listen to Him. He's got a book. It's got all the answers in it. And I want to tell y'all, when I was 30 years old, I started reading it. It changed my life. Every little second that we have on this planet is a special treasure that God has given us. And He wants us to realize it, and He wants us to hang out with Him, and He wants us to get to know Him. Because there is somebody that knows what they're doing. He's the master. And He gives us people like Bertha. But it's just for a small second. It's amazing. I met Kathy. 2 seconds later, I'm standing here 42 years later at her mom's funeral. It's crazy how fast it goes. It goes in a hurry. But God's reaching out for all of us. He's taking care of all of us. And He's here for us all the time. And if, whenever you lose somebody, like I lost my son, He's there. He's just waiting to console us and show us what it's all about. We really appreciate you guys coming out. And just going to say a prayer. And then they got a lot of stuff to say. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, I just thank You for giving us this time on Your planet. Lord, I thank You for Bertha and the love that she showed. Lord, I thank You for her family and for all these people coming out to honor her. Lord, I just ask You to be with the ones that are mourning. Lord, I just thank You for being with me today. And Lord, I just thank You for being with us. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
I apologize if my voice isn't that loud, but this is a letter from heaven. To my dearest family, some things I'd like to say, but first of all, to let you know that I arrived okay. I'm writing this from heaven. Here I dwell with God above. Here there are no more tears of sadness. Here is just eternal love. Please do not be unhappy just because I'm out of sight. Remember that I'm with you every morning, noon, and night. That day I had to leave you when my life on earth was through. God picked me up and hugged me and said, I welcome you. It's good to have you back again. You were missed while you were gone. As for your dearest family, they'll be here later on. I need you here so badly. You are part of my plan. There is so much that we can do to help our mortal man. God gave me a list of things that he wished for me to do, and foremost on the list was to watch and care for you. And when you lie in bed at night, the day's chores are put to flight. God and I are closest to you in the middle of the night. When you think of my life on earth and all those loving years, because you are only human, they are bound to bring you tears. But do not be afraid to cry. It does relieve the pain. Remember, there would be no flowers unless there was some rain. I wish that I could tell you that what God has planned, but if I were to tell you, you wouldn't understand. But one thing is for certain, though my life on earth is over, I'm closer to you now than I ever was before. There are rocky roads ahead of you and many hills to climb, but together we can do it by taking it one day at a time. It was always my philosophy, I'd like it for you too, that as you give unto the world will give to you. If you can help somebody who is in sorrow and pain, then you can say to God at night, my day was not in vain. And now I am content that my life was worthwhile, knowing as I passed along the way, I made somebody smile. So if you meet somebody who is sad and feeling low, just lend a hand to pick them up as on your way you go. When you're walking down the street and you've got me on your mind, I'm walking in your footsteps, only half a step behind. And when it's time for you to go from that body to be free, remember you're not going, you're coming here to me.
I'd just like you to know
This is my cousin. Well, she
oh,
likes to
go ahead.
introduce herself. But
No, you can introduce
This is my cousin Janet.
The
Her
favorite
mom and my mom were sisters.
And I was Bertha's favorite niece. Sorry, Kathy. Okay, I'm going to say a prayer. Not a prayer, a poem. Poem. I thought of you with love today, but that is nothing new. I thought of you yesterday and days before that too. I think of you in silence. I often speak your name, and I have all memories in your picture in a frame. Your memories is a keepsake which I'll never part. God has you his keep, and I have you in my heart. Sorry, I have to find the other one. How lucky I was and been blessed to have been. You were the most beautiful aunt I have ever could have. And Bertha, don't forget our secret. Try it. You may like it. It's our secret only with Bertha.
Or no?
Well, we just want to let you know, Amber and I were the lucky ones to be with her in her last moments.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, she went so peaceful,
Very
very,
peaceful.
very peaceful.
We fixed her pillow, and then she said she was going to take a nap, and she did indeed take a nap.
Took a nap, and
Perfect.
that was it.
And that's how she said she wanted to go. So it was very peaceful.
Yes.
I'm Amber. Granny. Bertha's granddaughter. To me, she's Granny. So,
Maybe she's Granny.
Maddie, she's Granny. Mine's a little long, guys. Bear with of you had the pleasure to know my granny, so many of you had the opportunity to know her much longer than I got to. But let me tell you about my granny Bertha. She was someone that, as all of you know, could be described as quite literally the nicest person ever. And I'm honored to be her granddaughter and to be able to be so very close with her all of my life. I actually spent my entire life up until this point with my granny, and a lot of my childhood memories include her. Whether it be sleeping on her belly until I really no longer could fit, making my mom take me to her house in the middle of the night. Yes, this really happened. Playing,
I did it.
Yeah. 10 p.m. I want to go to my granny's. Playing school in her apartment, walking to the store, eating quesadillas after school, and well, I could go on and on all day. But speaking of quesadillas after school, this happened a lot when I was in kindergarten, and I had to take a bus to and from school during kindergarten because my mom was working and my granny did not drive ever in her life, unless you all haven't told me something. But my granny would wait for me on the corner for the bus to arrive every day, and then one day this little girl fell asleep on the bus. I mean, kindergarten's exhausting. Everyone got off of the bus except me, and they began driving away. So she started running after the school bus to get me. I mean, the vision of Granny chasing down a school bus to get a sleeping Amber is pretty priceless. Just imagine it. After she got me, we went home, and of course, we ate quesadillas. But more recently, before she moved to Florida, we had lunch together on Sundays. She really liked to have cilantro or Panda Express, and sometimes Bona beef. I guess you could say we like to eat together, huh? But in this lifetime, we did a lot more than just eat together. We talked about anything and everything. We played games, we watched TV, we sat together, we called each other, and we just really loved to spend time together. She was the most giving person I've ever known. She gave her life to me and watched me every second that she had the chance to. She would argue with my mom because she wanted to hold me longer and she never wanted to go home. Well, the feeling was mutual, Granny, and I love spending every second with you. I wish we could go back and I could sleep on your belly just one more time. My granny is the reason that I am where I am today. She helped me in more ways than she could ever know. She helped me and she shaped me into the person that I am today, and she loved me unconditionally. Even if I had made mistakes, she supported me and encouraged me, and I give her a lot of credit for shaping me into who I am becoming. The beginning of this year, I started radiography school, and on the first day, they asked us to share our one person and why. Well, my granny was my person of choice. A few years back, she had a major heart surgery, and I wanted to be there with her through it all. Watching everyone take care of her all these years and experiencing that, I knew I wanted to touch other people's lives during times like those. I wanted to become someone that was there for patients, families, and be able to advocate for them. I wanted to make her proud every day, and she was always telling me how proud of me she was. Especially the last several months, I ended my first semester of radiography school with a 4.0 GPA. And I'm so very blessed to have been able to make her proud while she was still here, and I will continue to do my best in her memory. Taking care of her in the end was the biggest honor of my life, and watching her go to heaven will be something I'll always cherish. Beyond being an amazing granny, she was so much more than that to each and every one of you that are here. She wasn't just a granny. She was a mother, a mother-in-law, a sister, an aunt, a daughter, a friend, and she was someone that loved to play bingo and cards, especially with her Rosemont friends. She liked to go for car rides, sit outside, read books, and spend time with those that are around her. She was someone to everyone who ever met her because she was just simply amazing. And I pray to be like my granny every day. I want to be someone that everyone can look back on and say was one of the nicest people that they ever had the pleasure to know. And of course, I'd like to mention her daughter, my mother. Yeah, but I'll mention you. She did everything possible for my granny. My mom was her caretaker in Rosemont and went to her house every day until she decided to retire a little bit early and take care of Granny full time. They moved to Florida together. While her time there was short-lived, it was fulfilling, and she touched many people, making lots of friends, playing cards, and her most favorite of all, she watched a beautiful sunset every night. A selfless, loving, kind woman produced another. When I was 7, I wrote a short story. It's back there. It's about a girl and her granny. They were 2 peas in a pod, and then they decided to let the mother in.
So we there became 3 peas.
Yes, then they became 3 peas in a pod forever.
Yay.